What's up, everybody? You are back on the other side with me, Mike G, the only podcast where you will laugh, learn, and maybe question some of your life choices. Today's guest is a BKFC fighter who gives all of himself inside the ring, and as you will hear today, outside of it as well. So grab your mouth guard and get ready. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Justin the Nightmare Street. How's it going, man?
Hey, thank you for having me, Mike. I appreciate it. Definitely means a lot, man.
Awesome. Well, it's awesome to have you on the show. I'm a big fan. Let's jump right into it. Let's get childhood out of the way. Where are you from, and what was life like growing up, buddy?
Right here from Detroit, Michigan, man. Life was a struggle, you know what I'm saying? But it was all love and care, But we it was a struggle. We grew up on the poor side. Um, well, I mean, we lived in a van in a trailer park, starting off for a while, So I mean, life is better now, but I mean, it was a struggle growing up, and honestly, I wouldn't change it for anything because I mean, it showed me how to have true grit and true character, and appreciate what I have now more than I would have, growing up more if I was a spoiled kid. So,
Oh yeah, absolutely. So many people say that, and to be completely honest, I was the opposite. I'm a poor adult. I'm a poor adult. As a child, I had two well off parents who essentially would hand me anything I asked for, and I had to learn the hard way as a young man that the world wasn't going to hand me everything, and that there were consequences for throwing a fit when you don't get what you want. So that's
oh
awesome. That's awesome that you learned it the right way. I can
yeah,
definitely
yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah. I mean, I'd like to think so.
Yeah. All right. What is your first memory? Go back as far as you can. The first memory you have of somebody fighting somebody else. What's the first punch you ever saw thrown?
First punch I ever seen thrown. Uh, I'd have to say for my older brother Danny. Uh,
Okay.
I watched him knock out dude in the front yard when I was a little kid, and it was like, oh my god, like that was insane, like and I it was just ever since then, like I was just like, I want to do that to somebody, I want to, and then it was like a trickle effect.
Gotcha. So in that moment, you were like, "Yeah, that's my brother."
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. Did you use that at school when if you had people bullying you?
Well, honestly, I mean, in the the Livonia schools or whatever else, I mean, a lot of people already knew him. Oh, your brother's goat. So they
Okay.
all knew like you stay away from don't mess with him or whatever else. But when we started, my family, we moved around a lot, so going to different schools and doing different things, it was more, you were unknown, I mean, we grew up in an all black community. I mean, my family was probably the only white family in the neighborhood, and I mean, we paid the price for it. I mean, that's for sure. I mean, me and my little brother, we had to grow up fighting back to back, and like I said, it was a struggle growing up, but I mean, we made the best of it.
Did having that brother that was known for being the tough guy make it harder for you or easier? Did people try you because of that, or stay away?
It depended on what city I was in. Like I said,
Okay.
my older brother, I mean, when we were cut from a different cloth. So I mean, he has a different father than I do, but he has the same mother.
Okay.
So I mean, like, it was a little bit different. They grew up in Livonia. They had it, kind of made versus where me and my little brother, when my mom got with my father, it was a little different. You know what I'm saying? We grew up more in a poor area, Southfield, Michigan. I mean, and then I went from Southfield to Detroit to Redford to Livonia to Westland to we moved
Wow.
around a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you could only imagine the struggle that we had. Me and my little brother that were me. I mean, we're only 16 months apart,
Hmm.
and I mean, he's my little big brother now. But I mean, but yeah, we used to have to fight back to back, dude. I mean, that's just how it was. I mean, you had to earn our respect. Growing, especially moving into a new neighborhood. Trying to get new friends or whatever else. I mean, you were always tested. I
Yeah.
mean, is the word I'll use.
Okay. Um, in school, were you the bookworm or the class clown?
I was the class clown. I was,
That grin you got
books,
before you
books,
even
books were,
started talking.
yeah, books. Books were never for me, man. I never was able to focus enough to sit there and read a book or sit there and listen to a teacher lecture on for hours.
Mhm.
I couldn't do it. So, I
Was
mean,
that
I'd
lack
crack
of
the
ability
joke
or
and
lack of desire?
a little bit of both.
Okay. Okay. I understand that. Um,
Yeah, no, I mean, when I was younger, it was just like, I didn't care. I mean, I played sports, I'm saying? Like that was probably the only thing that, that would be the only time period that I would have good grades was during the time that I was, during the sports. And as soon as
when you
sports was
had
over,
to?
it was like, I didn't care, all right, cool. Now the rest of the year I can, fuck off, whatever.
That's awesome. Tell me about, we all grow up innocent minded until we reach a certain age where we realize life's for real. Life can be hard. You've discussed growing up, fighting and moving like that. Um, I always use the example when I was 5 years old, I got in a really bad car, or not car wreck, bicycle wreck. Poked a hole in my cheek, stuff was hanging out. It was the first time in my life where I realized like mortality isn't just for old people, it's for me too. Was there maybe a moment in your childhood where something, near death maybe, or a moment that happened made you think, okay, mortality's for me too?
Yeah, no, I broke my neck my freshman year in high school. So, I mean, this is a secret that not many people know or whatever else. But when I was a freshman in high school, I broke my neck, fractured C7, and snapped my vertebrae completely in half.
Wow.
Um, Went through the whole, not being able to walk, being told that you would never be able to play contact sports again. I dealt
Sure.
with that. What I'm saying? I lived that. So to be able
Wow.
to walk today, to be able to, experience life the way I'm able to experience now,
Hmm.
I'm blessed for 100%. Especially now that, my younger brother, who is, I guess what you would say is a paraplegic, because I mean he tried to do a backflip in a bounce house. Accidents happen, so on and
Hmm.
so forth. He's now paralyzed. He's now being able to so what walk now, but again he struggles. You know what I'm saying? He's
Hmm.
definitely come a long ways. I mean the guy's died on the hospital table, numerous amounts of times. So I
Man.
don't take nothing. I don't take nothing for granted. I mean, life is short. Life is sweet. Life is rough. You know what I'm saying? Life is what you make it at the end of the day. I mean, just this last week, I just had to experience my dad going through open heart surgery, having to go through five bypasses. So I mean, him having to go through that, and like it was all of a sudden. I mean, one day on a Sunday we're at the beach playing volleyball, and then the next day, he's in a hospital, and we're being told that he's having heart attacks and so on and so forth. So I mean, it's just like I said, I take everything in life for granted, or don't take it for granted because, like I
Right.
said, life is too short.
Wow. Do you mind telling how you broke your neck?
I was playing football. We were in practice, working on the kickoff. We were doing our kickoff team, and then we had our scout kickoff return team out there, whatever, because the team that we were going up against had a good kick returner. So the coach kicked the ball. I'm running downfield, whatever else, and the kid came up and he dove at my feet. I tried to jump over him. I didn't really land, fully complete, the right way. I landed in like a stumble.
Hmm.
And before I knew it, I was making contact with the ball carrier and my head was down. Um,
Mm.
and one thing led to another.
Wow. That's wild, man. I don't
Yeah.
know how I don't know how you ever got. How did you ever get into fighting? Let's get to that. When did you decide you wanted to become a fighter, and how did all that come about?
I mean, I've always been a fighter. I mean, like I said, growing up, the way I kind of grew up, I mean, I was always the older brother, having to fight, for my little brother because I didn't want him to fight, So if anyone had a problem with him, it was like, hey, you're gonna deal with me, So
Right.
here I'd come around the corner and I'm swinging, So um, I was always the one that kind of had anger issues. So I mean, if you looked at me the wrong way, I mean, I'd try to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just like that's how all began. And then I got jumped. When I was younger, I think I was like 11 years old. I got jumped. I had my face kicked in, teeth missing, and all that stuff. And that's when my uncle Mike was like, hey, you know what, we're gonna put you into boxing, and that's when it started, dude. I went into a boxing gym. He brought me into the boxing gym, and it was just like, what? I can hit somebody. I don't get in trouble for this. Like, I can do this. Like, what? And I fell in love instantly, dude. And I never left. And then it just, from one gym to the next, and it just, I went from doing that, did boxing for 7 years, did Golden Gloves, and then went off to do MMA. Moved on to MMA, went 14-2 as an amateur. Or I'm sorry, 12-2 as an amateur. Won 4 different titles, in 2 different weight classes. I was 135 and 125, the number one in the state of Michigan. And then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go pro. I went pro with no management, no nothing. And I was dealing with promotions that would sit there and lie to you and tell you that oh, this guy is a 0-2 striker, whatever else, and then you get to the day of the fight and the guy's a 5-4 4-year All-American college wrestler. So it was just like I kept having to deal with stuff like that. And my whole career I've always been a stand-up fighter. I've always been someone that likes to stand and bang and take a shot to give a shot. So when I seen that bare knuckle came out, it was around the same time that I was getting ready to hang up my gloves. I was getting ready to, retire, not fight no more. And my wife goes, hey, you know what? You should go and do this tryout in Alabama, that everyone keeps posting about. Yeah, whatever. And I go, yeah, but it's in Alabama. It's like a 12.5 hour drive. Like, I don't know, babe. Like, I just, if it was right, it would be here in Michigan,
Mhm.
whatever. And, yeah. So I mean, my wife goes, you know what? Here, we're going to rent a car and we're taking the drive. So we rented a car, put my kid, who was, I think, a year and a half at the time. We put him in the car and we drove down to Alabama and did the tryout. I didn't hear anything back. I kind of got a little discouraged, and one thing led to another. And then actually, I'm getting a manager calling me, and he's like, "Hey, I got a fight scheduled for you." I'm like, "Who are you?" Like, what's going on here? And he's like, "Well, yeah, I wanted to sign you. I want to talk to you about that too." I'm like, well, let's talk about that first before we start talking about a fight. So then one thing, we did that, and then I ended up leaving them, and because I kept, they would get me fights, and then nothing would, it would all fall through. So I'm like, I'm
Mhm.
not doing this. So then I started talking to another Michigan fighter of mine, Eric Lozano,
Mhm.
and I reached out to him, and I was like, hey, bro, I said, if you don't mind, I said, who's your manager? I said, I keep, I've had this manager, whatever else. This is what they're telling me. I said, but I think that they're more full of shit than anything else. I said, who's your manager? I said, if you don't mind, I'd like to get, in contact with them. He gave me all the information. I called the guy. One thing led to another. I ended up signing with CNC Management, and
Carlos Akiri.
yep. And I was really close with them, and then I kind of me and Carlos had a good relationship. Everything was good. We got good with that. But then it came to the point in my time to where I had to make a career decision. Either stay as a stationary fighter or better myself and further my career. And that's why I kind of made the switch over to Storm Management, and because they were able to do more for me, such as giving me a full training camp, giving me the things that I need to better myself as a fighter, to prepare for these fights, and the knowledge of just the transition over to bare knuckle itself. So I've learned a lot just being with the Smith brothers and Brandon. I mean, everybody over at the Smith Brothers Academy, I mean, is
Love Brandon. I
done
love that guy.
phenomenal. They've done phenomenal work with me. I mean, I love it. You know what I'm saying? They brought that spirit and that love back into fighting with me, and they lit that fire again, and
That's
it showed in
awesome.
my last
Everybody
fight.
I've talked to from that gym has the same mindset, feels the same way. It's really cool.
Dude, it's a great atmosphere, 100%.
Great, man. Other than obviously, you don't have to go to wrestling practice or jujitsu practice. What are the main differences preparing in a training camp for a bare knuckle fight as opposed to MMA? Is it more
Honestly,
mentality?
it's honestly more grit. Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, it's more a lot more heavy bag. You know, you're working the heavy bag a lot more. You're working, you know, you're working you're doing a lot more drilling. You're doing a lot more things that are in situational type
Mhm.
things. You know, you're not really trying to go out there. You're not rolling with somebody. You're not, you know, doing jujitsu. You're not, you know, doing a full workout. You know, whatever else. Instead, you're doing more of an explosive type of workout. You're doing a more of you know, more speed, more, you know, more agility, more, you know, whatever. And then from there, you know, you transition over into sparring, and then you start doing your sparring and so on and so forth. And now when you do sparring, you know, getting prepared for bare knuckle, we spar with smaller gloves, you know, so on and so forth. So it can get a little bit more gritty, you know, and you know, you just gotta be, you know, you got to have a good training partners that are willing to go that extra step. You know what I'm saying? Take it, you know, a little harder, more of a shot, you know, whatever. And that's why, you know, my main training partner, I consider him a nephew. Honestly, you know, it's somebody who I've taken underneath my wing. And when I'm here at home, I mean, him and I mean, we go rounds for rounds, and he definitely, he's somebody who can push me because he's somebody who mirrors me. You know, he's somebody who, you know, took my style and has made it his own. So it
Mhm.
makes me kind of change up my style to land those, you know, certain shots or whatever else, and so it betters me. You know, so um, I would definitely say training for bare knuckle.
Your knees feel better,
I,
don't they?
Oh, dude, I've already had knee surgery once, man. I've had a full knee replacement, so you can only imagine. Now, staying away from jujitsu is like a blessing.
Yeah, I think that's the main reason people get into bare knuckle is so they don't have to wrestle. And I don't mean that
Yeah,
disrespectfully. I can't do either
no,
one.
dude, 100%. I don't like going to the ground, dude. Like I said, that was honestly one of the main reasons why I left MMA, because no fighter was willing to stand with me, and I'm more of a stand-up fighter who likes to bang it out, you know. So that was honestly the big reason why I made that transition over to BKFC.
Okay. I want to go back to your debut, March 2024. As you're
29th,
standing,
March
2000,
29th in New Mexico, Albuquerque.
yep, 2024 though, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. Uh, as you're standing there towing the line, waiting for Nick Barons to say fight, what's going on in your head?
Finally, you know,
Finally.
I finally get to fight on a big stage. You know, like, is this really happening? Like, holy cow! You know, like, look at all the. You know, I was, you
You were
know, more
feeling the
like
moment?
I was feeling the moment. It took me until probably mid second round to finally like kind of get dialed in and just
Hmm.
kind of like enough feeling it out. Now it's time to take it to them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's when like I started to, you know, feel myself start to come together. Was able to start, you know, pick my shots and start, you know, get that snowball rolling.
Hmm. Did that fight play out the way you expected, or did you not go in with expectations?
I don't really go into a fight with expectations because you don't really know how much heart that other person has. And it's not really about skill when, you know, you get into a cage or a ring. I mean, it's all about that person that's standing in front of you, you know. And if I go in there with expectations, I'm always going to be that person that's upset, or I'm going to be pissed off
Right.
because that fight didn't go the way I wanted it to go. So I have to be more of more of a level-headed and just go in there knowing that the fight could go either way, you know, knowing that anything could happen, and that's why we drill the situations the way we do. You know, situational drills are very important,
Hmm.
and I feel like that. You know, when we're, you know, spinning in circles to get yourself dizzy and then sparring for 30 seconds, that really helps. You know, because when you take those big shots and those legs get wobbly, you start looking for yourself. You know, so
Yep.
it helps. You know, so I mean everything that plays into a factor going into a fight with expectations, no, it's not good. You know, I used to be that guy who would sit there and watch video after video, take all these notes and break down everything. And the further I got into my career, I realized it was just a waste of time, because
Right.
when you get in there, you're fighting yourself. I mean, at the end of the day,
Yep.
that's the biggest fight. When you get into a ring, you're fighting yourself. You know, you're not fighting the person in front of you. You're fighting your emotions. You're fighting the adrenaline. You're fighting your nerves, everything that builds up the whole entire training camp. You know, the time that you sacrifice away from your family and your kids, and you know, all that time that spent away, the sacrifices, all those emotions are all built up now, and it's all bottled up. So when that victory and you're getting to raise your hand and whatever else, like, that is the greatest feeling, and it's a relief, and that's why you see a lot of these fighters, they tear up,
Yeah.
because those are the ones that are putting in that time, that work,
Yeah.
those sacrifices.
Wow. Your most recent fight happened last March in Hollywood, Florida. You took on Rambo Russo, who's a very tough fighter. How did that fight play out, and how good did that TKO feel?
Oh man, you have no idea.
I don't. I
I
know.
had to deal with this guy for a year and a half on his mouth. I had to listen to man, you have no idea. All the messages on Instagram from him, all the recorded
Yep.
messages that he would send me. Oh man, it was when we were finally able to toe that line. It was definitely like one of those moments where it was like, man, just come here. I just can't wait to put my hands on you.
Yep.
Like, but I also knew I had to stay humble. As much as I wanted to kill the guy, and as much as I wanted to, bloody him up and make his face look like a meat pie, I had to, what I'm saying, I had to reel myself in and stay
Yep.
composed when I went to that line. So when I told that line, it was a composed, level-headed. We're just gonna, feel them out that first 30 seconds, and then we're gonna start picking them apart. And that's exactly what I did. I mean, the way it went was exactly how I felt. He, soon as he felt my knuckles touch his face, I knew exactly what he was gonna do. I mean, that's when he started to close his eyes as he would throw punches at me. So once I seen him start closing his eyes, it was just like, all right, make him miss and make him pay. And that's what it boiled down to, man.
Who do you want next? Do you have a preference? Is there a couple guys you'd like to call out?
Yeah.
Let's hear it,
I
man.
mean, I'm coming back for Ibarola. I mean, that guy should have one loss on his record, and that should be for me. But because of hometown judges, that's a whole other story. Anywho, um, I definitely want to fight Ibarola again. I will see him again when that time is right.
Right.
I will not fight him in his hometown again. If we're gonna fight, it's gonna have to be somewhere that's mutual. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I mean, I'm anyone in the 135 division. I'm here. Put that bullseye on my back because I'm only coming for the top. And whoever's standing there in front of me, I'm taking them out, dude. No disrespect. It's just business.
Are you done with 125?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. No, I don't. As much as I would love to go back down to 125 and give that a run or whatever else, and definitely go down there and pick Chris Garcia off. I can't do it, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm getting old. You know what I'm saying? And my kidneys have unfortunately paid the price already with throughout an 18-year career.
Yeah.
Cutting weight and all that stuff. So the lowest I'll go is 135.
Gotcha. All right. Why do you fight? I know why you got into fighting. Why do you still do it? Everyone has a reason. Is
Yep.
it for the paycheck? Is it to be a world champion? Is it to say I'm a fighter? Is it, for free
I
bucked up
fight.
energy drinks?
Nah, I mean, in all honesty, dude, the reason why I still fight to this day, and the reason why I still give it everything I have, is because when I'm in that ring or I'm in that cage, it's the only time I feel free. It's the only time I
Wow.
feel like I'm able to not feel stressed, not feel, what I'm saying, overly, overwhelmed. I mean, it's the only time I'm able to just feel free, alone, finally just at peace. And that's why I still fight.
Do you
Having my
really
hand
tell
raised. I'm
Go ahead,
sorry.
man.
No, having my hand raised and getting in there and still being able to do what I'm able to do, and having my son look up to me at 6 years old, and he's going around telling my dad's a professional fighter. My dad, like hearing that come out of his mouth and hearing how proud he is, to look up to his father, and that's the reason why I still do what I do.
Wow, that's awesome, man. I love hearing that. Uh, Pretend you can rewrite the dictionary. I want to know what you would write in next to the word redemption.
Hmm.
What does that mean to you personally?
Redemption, reviving. I mean, it's being reborn. Coming back for what you missed out on. Being reborn and given a second chance to rewrite that story.
That's awesome. Awesome stuff, man. Um, what do you hope people think when they watch you fight?
When people watch me fight, I mean, I hope that they see, a guy who grew up, with nothing, and that somebody who was able to battle through the struggles and, come out on the bright side, and still be able to get in there and follow my dream and stick to it, don't let people steer you in a wrong direction that, reveres from, your dream,
Right.
stay dedicated, stay the path, stay the line.
Great stuff, man. Um, I want to mention a name to you, and then we'll get into what I kind of consider the second half of this interview. Kind of the main reason we're talking today, a story you wanted to get out. Tell me who Alex Bello Ortiz is.
So, yep. Wow. So a friend of mine reached out and she gave me this story about Alex and his family. And to hear his story, I mean, first of all, Alex is a cadet from NASA. He was going through like the NASA cadet thing and all that stuff. And he had a home in Florida. Was able, his mom and his stepdad owned the home. He was renting the home from his mother and stepfather. And he moved in two of his buddies and, well, who he thought were his buddies at the time. And uh, some things went wrong, went south. They're very wrong, very dirty, very tragic. That this family has to go, even go through the things that they're having to deal with still to this day, and not having justice for their son. So the reason why I wanted to come on here today and share this with everybody is because we want justice for Alex. Alex
Hmm.
was murdered, I would say, and they covered it up and made it look like a suicide. The cops, everybody that was involved, they were all in on it in many other ways. There's a video that you guys can all go in and watch. And I beg people to go watch this video, just to see, just for yourselves, that this man deserves his family deserves justice. And that's November 1st, when I fight again. Uh, I will be tributing my fight to Alex Bello Ortiz and his family, because I want justice just as much as they do for their son. Because at the end of the day, like I said, he deserves it. His family deserves it, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that they get that.
Yeah, watching that, I've actually watched it twice, all the way through. I could not believe how, and I'm no detective, I'm no expert, but it just seemed completely obvious. I mean, you mentioned cover up. One of the things that really stands out to me is they took 5 fingerprint swabs off of the gun, took the time to collect the evidence, document it, write a
And
report
still
about
never
it,
tested him.
and still have never even bothered to test it.
Yep.
That's insane.
And still to this day, they still refuse to have it tested because they feel like it has no part in the investigation.
I wonder what kind of do you have any idea, like locally, where this happened? Do you have any idea what the public pressure or outcry is towards the police department there?
I do know that it was in Florida. I believe it was in Daytona, Florida. Um, that is as much that I can give out.
Gotcha.
Um, but yeah, it's to have the people come in and bleach the home,
Yeah.
without having the home even caution taped off or You know, to even allow these people back into the home to do so was very wrong. Very,
Yeah.
yeah.
And this isn't a
I mean,
small story either. That video.
it makes me emotional to even talk about it because, like I said, this really touches home for me. You know, big time. You know, I mean, it almost kind of like watching the video. You almost kind of feel like you just lost a brother. You know, you just lost a guy that, you know, just watching the video, I mean, you could tell he was a guy who could walk into a room and just change the whole vibe of the room. You know, you could be sad, you could be down and out and whatever else, and then you could see this guy and you could tell, like, right off rip that he could be
Mhm.
somebody who could change your life, somebody who could change, you know, bring somebody out of a depressing stage, and to have him taken and have him, it's rough.
Yeah, in the beginning, it mentioned that I can't remember the name of the award, but he won some award like the morale officer for
Yep.
everyone. So if he was in a place to where he was the guy that other people look to make everything better, absolutely tragic. That video that you sent me has 750,000 views. Um,
Yep.
if 10% of the people who viewed that write a letter to that police department, I guarantee you they'll start testing stuff.
And
Or
that's what
that
we're
chief
hoping
won't have a
for.
job. Public outcry.
And that's what we're hoping for, Mike. I mean, that's you know, that's why I wanted to reach out to you
Hmm.
and, you know, everybody. Everyone I know that I can get this out there, and, you know, I mean, and you were one of the first ones I came to, and, you know, I'm really hoping that, you know, doing this podcast and, you know, doing, you know, these tribute for this fight or whatever else. Like, I really hope that it helps get him the justice that he deserves, you know, and his family. I mean, his family more, you know, than anything else. I mean, to to be a father of my son, you know,
Hmm.
to think about the, you know, the kind of situation that his stepfather and his mom are in now, like to go through that, I could never imagine. Like I couldn't. My oldest son now is 16 years old, and talking about moving out, being honest, you know, and I think about
Yeah,
this story, you know, and I think about Alex and his family, and it breaks my heart to the max, you know, and I really want people to know that life is short, man, and make sure that you know you
yeah,
stay true and you stay loyal to the, you know, the people next to you, and you love them and cherish the moments that you get with them, because again, they could be taken tomorrow.
yeah. None
You
of
know,
us
it's
have
unfortunate, but
any of
that's the
us
world we
forever.
live in.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
man.
there's too much hate in this world. You know, we need more love in the world, and there's, you know, unfortunately, we're overpowered by hate.
Yeah. I will do everything in my power to keep this story relevant. I'll post about it on my social media. Um, I'll share it on YouTube. I'll do what I can to keep Alex in everyone's minds until hopefully the right thing happens. Because so far it definitely appears as though the wrong thing is all that's happened since he passed. I want to get to this is kind of a difficult turnaround, but I want to get to the part of the interview where hopefully I can get you to laugh a little bit. These are kind of these questions are designed to hopefully whichever way you answer, half of the people who are watching are going to identify with you and relate to it. The goal is to make the professional face smasher more relatable to us rednecks. My first question, and this is hopefully Michigan based. I did my best. What do you like better, Coney's or Detroit style pizza?
Oh, Detroit style pizza all day long.
There we go. What toppings?
uh, so I'm a pineapple on pizza type of guy. You know, you can't go wrong with, you know, the pineapple on pizza, dude. I mean, everyone knocks it, but I'll tell you, dude, anyone that eats a Hawaiian style pizza, dude, you can't go wrong.
They're all right in your book. All
Yeah.
right. Both in their prime, who wins, Ali or Tyson?
Ooh, Tyson.
Tyson. You think he gets
Mike
inside?
Tyson. Yep, all day long. I feel like his head movement was way too good for Ali's jab, and I feel like once he got inside, he was gonna beat up on Ali like Frazier did.
There we go. Good one. What's the best Rocky movie?
Hmm. I like when he fights the Russian.
Four. Nice. Ivan
Four, yeah,
Drago.
yep.
All right. Who do you root harder for, the Lions or the Wolverines?
The Wolverines.
There
I'm
we
more
go.
of a Michigan fan. When it comes to my NFL teams, I'm a Baltimore fan.
Okay. How did that come about, being a Michigan guy?
I mean, you grow up. I mean, when your home team of Detroit sucks horribly. I mean, it
Forever.
forces you to kind of love other teams that are in the
Right.
NFL. So. But no, honestly, I'm a Jim Harbaugh fan. I'm a Harbaugh
Okay.
fan in all general. Jim and John both. I love both of those guys. They're both great coaches. I love their scheme. I love everything about the way they coach. So that's why I love wherever those guys go. I'm pretty much a fan of. That's why I fell in love with Baltimore when with John, and now when you got Jim going to the Chargers. I kind of like the Chargers now too, but I will forever be a Wolverines fan. Always have been. Um, that game against Ohio State, it's the greatest game of all time. So,
Awesome. Uh, Again, both in their prime. Who wins, GSP or Anderson Silva?
ooh, I'm gonna go with Anderson Silva.
Okay. You think he'll catch
I
him on the
love G-
feet?
I, I love GSP, but yeah, Anderson Silva, especially because of his reach and
Yep.
the ability that he was capable of knowing how to use it. I would take Anderson Silva.
Okay.
More
What do you
well-rounded.
like? Yeah, definitely. What do you like better, coffee or energy drinks?
I love my coffee.
Okay.
Yep,
Are you like a one
I'd
cup in the
rather.
morning guy or all day long?
No, I'm like an all day guy. I'll drink coffee even at night before I go to bed, dude. It's ridiculous.
All right.
I guess
Uh,
that's why I'm only 5'6". I mean, who knows?
I, this next question, I feel like I already know the answer to based on the continual backward throwing motion. But what do you like better, dogs or cats?
Oh, dogs. Yeah,
Who you
dogs
got
all day
back
long.
there?
I got my brother's dog Kobo right here. He's a pit bull. He gets very
Nice.
anxious when you don't throw his toy. He starts letting you have it. He starts yelling at you. So, as you guys can hear, he barks at me every 20 minutes. It's to throw his little toy. So. But he's a good dog. I mean, I'd rather have a dog than a cat. I can't stand cats. I feel like all they're good for is stinking up your house, either with them or scratching up your furniture.
Your
Everything
legs.
about them. Yeah, everything about them just sucks.
Gotcha. Okay. What do you prefer, talk or text?
Talk, 100%. I'd rather talk to somebody and see their face, versus doing the thumb war stuff or whatever else. That to me, I can't deal with that.
Buttons are too small, fingers are too fat.
Yeah,
Just
yeah. I barely have feeling in my hands as is. So I mean, it's just when I broke my neck, I guess when I got my legs back, I lost the feeling in my hands. So to do like the taxing and stuff like that, yeah, I'm able to do it, but it gets too complicated, man. Especially when your hands start freezing up on you and
yeah,
everything else.
you get that lockdown thumb from holding it.
And
All
don't
righty.
move. You're like, come on, dude, just come on.
What hurts worse, getting poked in the eye during a fight or that neck tattoo?
Oh man. I would say
See,
getting
I've
poked
got a
in the eye.
couple on the sides, but this is scary to me.
Yeah, I would say getting poked in the eye.
Okay.
I mean, that is getting poked in the eye and having an abrasion on your eyeball is by far the worst feeling, the most irritating feeling that you'll ever have to feel for 3 to 7 days.
Yeah.
It
And it's
sucks.
got to be a kind of helpless feeling too, because it's not like you can put some peroxide on it. You can't just throw a
Uh,
Band-Aid on it. You're just kind of like, ah.
yeah, yeah. And I give you a contact. Here's a contact. Well, you slap that in there, and then you're like, it's stuck. Yeah.
Is it like a Band-Aid
It sucks.
contact they give you?
Yeah, it sucks. I hate having abrasions on my eye. It's happened so many times. At this point now, I just go right to the eye doctor. I'm like, dude, can you laser it, please? Because it's already happened again.
Wow. Okay. What is worse, being underestimated or misunderstood?
Mm. I would say being misunderstood.
Okay. Uh, in your bathroom at home, I ask everybody this because everybody has a preference. In your bathroom at home, does the toilet paper go over the roll or under?
it would go over. You pull it down. You don't pull it
Very
up.
good. Okay.
Yeah.
But some people have it going behind the roll and feeding down the back.
No, no, you can't do that. That's
Okay.
you're getting it dirty before you even put it on your ass.
All right. You've got to go commit a bank robbery, and you need to take a couple people with you, a getaway driver and a gunman. Who are they?
I would say my boy Chris and Coach Brandon.
Coach Brandon. Love that. He's gonna love hearing that. What
Yeah.
what does a perfect day off look like?
Spending time with the kids and the wife. Quality
Absolutely.
time.
That's great. Let's see here. Who's the most important person in your life? You can't say your wife or kids. It has to be outside of that. Most important person. It can be to your career, to you personally, but who is someone that without them you would not be where you are today?
I mean, there's a couple people, man. To be honest with you, in all honesty, I owe it all to my coach James, James Benetel. I mean, that guy has been that father figure for me that I missed out, on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was somebody who kept me in line. He was somebody who got my head right, and
Mhm.
I 100% I would not be the fighter nor the person I am today if it wasn't for him.
Awesome. Uh, if you had a message, as you know, the reason we do these interviews is to hopefully inspire people who are struggling or feeling like they're broken or like giving up. If you had a message to share with someone who's watching this right now, feeling that way right now, what would that message be?
I'm sorry.
If you had a message to share with viewers right now that might be feeling broken or like they're at their own rock bottom and don't know how to get out of it, what would that message be?
Keep one foot in front of the other. Keep moving forward. It'll get better. It'll always get worse before it gets better. So that's why you got to keep one foot in front of the other and just keep chugging. Keep chugging along. And when the time is right, is when it counts the most. Take everything for. You got to look at the glass half full.
Hmm. Absolutely. What's the best way for fans of yours and friends to keep up with you?
So they can follow me on Instagram at the_nightmare_ 135, or I think it's 125. Sorry. Or you can follow me on Facebook, Justin Street. And it's something simple.
I'm out of questions that I have written down, Justin. Is there anything else you want to talk about or anyone you want to shout out maybe?
Yeah, I would like to shout out Mike Toller at Westfit Fitness over there in Westland. The guy is also another mentor of mine. Probably another, I wouldn't be the person I am today if it wasn't for, all the, small talks that we do have. Um, he's somebody who takes care of my nutrition. He's somebody who takes care of, my mental. And all you women out there, if you're looking to get in shape, he's the man to go see.
There we go.
Um, Another, all my other sponsors out there, L. George's, um, Sideline
Just
Sports
Blaze
Tavern,
Clothing.
yeah, Just Blaze Clothing, Wallace, you're the man. Um, yeah, I mean there's a number of them, man. If I wish I had a paper up, I'd be able to read them all off. But
There we go.
I thank you to all my sponsors.
Absolutely. Justin, man, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I appreciate
Hey,
you sharing
likewise, likewise.
the most important commodity on planet Earth, time. You've shared almost an hour of your life with me. At this point, I feel like we're friends, man. I hope you consider me the same. This
Absolutely.
will take about 30 minutes to upload to YouTube. As soon as it uploads, I'll send you the first copy if you want to watch it. If you don't like it, let me know. I'll take it down.
No, I mean, honestly, dude, I mean, there's no reason to take it down. I feel like, the best, version is yourself is when it's, it's live. So, I mean, let the people, I want the people to get to know me. I want the people to get close to me, so that they understand why I do what I do. And hopefully, they can, be fans of themselves.
One last question. What are fans going to see from you the next time you're in the ring?
I'm knocking this dude out. I'm getting on that knockout reel, and I'm after that belt for the baddest motherfucker in BKFC. I want that belt. I want that belt to be with my name on it, even in the 135 division. I want people to know that when you stand across from the nightmare, you're gonna have problems sleeping.
That's awesome, man. Thanks again. I'll send you a copy as soon as it's ready. Have a great rest of your weekend, Justin.
You do the same, Mike. I appreciate everything. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
You too.
Wow, that was another awesome interview, Justin Street. Everyone, go check out the story. There's no way that you won't want to look more. Alex Ortiz, check it out on YouTube. Crazy story, sad story, wild story. Everybody pay attention. I wanted to mention the merch sponsor, Just Blaze Clothing. The site was down for a minute. It's back up, and we have 2 new Other Side with Mike G t-shirts available. A really cool one for the ladies and a badass one for the guys. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I'll see you next time.